Hello, beautiful ladies, and welcome to week 2 of the softening series, 10 weeks of deepening my marriage. And today's video is all about what I'm releasing so love has room to breathe. So last week, that was week 1 of the softening series, I wrote about noticing the hardness. So these are the subtle ways that we can armor ourselves without even realizing it, and how that can get in the way of the intimacy that we actually crave. So, this week, today, I want to talk all about how that same armor can sneak into these everyday moments at home, often disguised as standards, or to be more precise, as expectations. So, right now, in my own personal life, I'm catching it early before my transition into postpartum arrives. So, as you might know, especially if you've been here a little while, I'm about a month away from welcoming our fourth baby. And if there's one thing that my earlier seasons of motherhood have taught me, and this journey with the intimacy skills in general is that clinging to control, and in this case, during postpartum, but quite frankly, any time in life, is a recipe for frustration, stress, and disappointment. So when I had my first baby, who actually it's her eighth birthday, just this past weekend, so happy birthday to her. She's now 8. So, 8 years ago when she was born, I remember being so focused on what I could not control, so focused that I missed out on just luxuriating in that beautiful season of delicious newborn babiness. I couldn't keep up with the house. The dishes were piling up, the laundry baskets were overflowing, and every time I looked around, my chest tightened. And I remember just getting super frustrated because of that. And I would snap at my husband for not noticing what needed to be done. And I would turn down visitors because I was embarrassed by the mess. And I was feeling like I had lost all sense of control because I had, right? And that was the whole point. I had so much learning to do. And of course, it wasn't just about the tidiness of the space I was in. Really, it came down to control. I wanted things to look the way that they used to, because back then, a clean space made me feel safe, made me feel calm, competent, put together, successful in a way. But postpartum and life often isn't tidy. It's raw and miraculous and messy and sacred all at once. And isn't that truly beautiful? And so now, as I prepare to enter that space again, I'm choosing differently. I'm choosing to release the expectations before they have a chance to choke out my joy. So this morning, I was going about doing my normal routine that I usually do. I was wiping counters and putting pillows back in their places and just arranging the living room to make it look nice. And there was this moment where I just kind of stopped and I stood there. And my dog was right at my feet, and the sunlight was pouring in and just made all of the kids' little tiny fingerprints on the windows stand out. And yeah, I'm just constantly wiping off those fingerprints, right? But it was just this moment of like, wow, like this is my life. And I realized this right now, right here, right now, is the moment to practice letting go. That doesn't mean that I have to be like, oh well, we'll just leave the fingerprints forever, right? But it's these moments of finding appreciation in the messiness and appreciation and gratitude and beauty in chaos and in the unexpected. And so when the baby does come, I don't want to waste a single ounce of energy feeling frustrated about dishes in the sink or toys on the floor. I don't want to be micromanaging my husband from, me from the couch telling him what to do. I want to be fully inside the moments that matter, right? The newborn snuggles, the giggles, the stories with my older kids, cozy evenings with my husband where the world feels small and sweet and sacred. So I'm starting now. I've been asking myself a simple question that I love to lean on whenever I feel the urge to control. And the question is, how do I feel and what do I want that I can control? When I pause and ask that, I always come back to the same gentle truth. What I can control is my own environment of peace, my inner and outer environment of peace, right? And the things that nourish me from the inside out. So when the time comes, instead of focusing on the house being tidy, because it most likely won't be. I want to luxuriate in my soft, comfy clothes, a big pink water bottle within reach. I want to have delicious snacks by me to keep me energized, maybe a cozy, fluffy blanket, and my dog curled up next to me, and of course, the baby in my arms, and a few really great shows queued up for those long nursing sessions, and maybe a really great book too. And I can also express my pure desires to my husband and kids, which I know for me are going to sound like I would love a tidy living room, which is where I know I'll be spending with the most of my time. But this time without pressure, demands, or expectations. If it if it happens that they tidy everything up, I will be delighted. But if it doesn't happen, I'll still rest in the beauty of what is and the cozy little nest I've created for myself. In other words, I don't need it to be tidy and perfect in order to be happy. And I'm not just talking about the living room here. The living room really is symbolic for everything that's outside of my control because I don't want my peace and my joy to depend on anybody else's pace because that's just not fair for anyone, right? It's not fair for me. It's certainly not fair for them. And so I want to invite you and extend a softening invitation to you for this week. So let's do this together. I'm going to break it down into three simple, clear steps. The first one is to name one thing that you're ready to release control of. Or maybe you don't feel ready, that's okay, but something that you know would just make you feel so much lighter and freer and calmer if you were able to release control of. So this will be something that you notice that tempts you to push, force, nag, or feel frustrated. So for me, of course, it's releasing my grip on how our home should look, especially once our new baby arrives. What is it for you? What is it that you are ready to soften your grip on? Or again, maybe you're not ready, but something that you know that softening your grip on is going to serve you well. Something that is going to give you more calm and peace in your life. And it might feel scary to think about doing that because if you're not controlling it, then it's not going to get done or it won't happen correctly or whatever, right? But I want to invite you to put aside your fears for the moment and just imagine what it would be like to release that and to experiment with it. All of this gets to be one big experiment where you just see what it feels like to let go. Step two is to ask yourself, how do I feel and what do I want that I can control? This question helps you shift from frustration into agency. And you might discover, like me, that what you really want actually isn't control. It's ease, it's rest, it's a sense of comfort and joy. How can you create that for yourself in this season? Step three is to identify one or two pure desires, the kind that come from your heart, not your expectations, not your criticisms or frustrations. Practice speaking them to yourself first, or maybe writing them down. And when you're ready, practice saying them out loud to your husband without any expectations. Let them instead be beautiful, inspiring desires, not demands. This practice has been incredibly grounding for me, reminding me that softness doesn't come from fixing or controlling everything around me, but from releasing what's not mine to hold and soaking in everything wonderful happening all around me all the time. So, the lesson that I'm learning, or maybe remembering, I should say, is that simplicity and release create space for deepening love and intimacy. The more that I unclench my grip of control, the more joy can flow into my life and the more love can flow into my marriage. I've seen firsthand how tightly held standards can become barriers, how resentment can creep in quietly when we try to control what isn't ours to control. And I've also seen how when I let go, something sacred happens. The love and connection flow again. So I'm learning that I don't need a perfect home to feel grounded. I just need presence and gratitude. I don't need everything to be in its perfect place to feel calm or content, right? I just need to give myself permission to be fully, freely, unapologetically in the life I already have. Because I want to be a well-lived woman, one that radiates warmth and joy. So it's not about managing chaos through control. It's about meeting life as it is with softness. It's about trusting that peace can exist even in the middle of imperfect moments or unexpected moments, and that it's in those moments precisely where I can find deeper connection with my husband. So this week, as I nest and prepare and breathe through this final month of pregnancy, I'm letting go of expectation and perfection. I'm making room for what truly matters because when love has room to breathe, it always finds its way home. So I would love to hear if you end up going through those steps. And if you want to share with me, feel free to email me. You'll find it at the bottom of the blog post. And as always, if you're new here and you want to get started, I invite you to download my free guide called 5 Steps to Reignite Connection in Your Marriage, and you'll find that in the description below. Thank you so much for joining me this week, and I look forward to chatting with you again next week for week 3 of the Softening series. Bye bye.